going to show you a camera that we haven't shown you yet. It's the nest of a blackbird. Let's go to that live. I love this. Look, it's in a fallen down tree, so it's in a stump, and if you go right in, look how well hidden that nest is. So well hidden, I'm actually struggling to see it. There you go, you can see the chick, you can see, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, you can only see it when the chick pops its little head up. We know that there are 4 chicks in that nest, tiny little heads popping up, wanting to be fed. In flies the male, and look at that beak. Absolutely full of things to feed it with. And then the female comes in as well. They're both bringing in plenty of worms for those 4 hungry mouths, filling them up. So that's where it is. Oh, look at this bit though, I love this bit. Look at the little chick popping out.
Doesn't want to go to sleep.
Snuggling back down.
Constantly sent upstairs to the bedroom to go to sleep.
Look, watch. What's that? What is that we've circled in the right-hand corner?
It's a jay.
It is a jay, and that is the male that chases the jay off. Let's just rewind that, watch it again. Look closely, and you can see that's the jay. And I hate to tell you this, but that nest of the blackbird is only about 80 metres away from the wren nest. So that is probably the same jay that took all the wren chicks. So we're going to have to keep a close eye and keep our fingers crossed for those cute little blackbird.
How are you feeling?
chicks.
Because you were quite negative about the osprey.
I'm feeling positive. I'm feeling positive.
Positive for the blackbirds?
Yeah, because I think the jay's full. not hungry anymore.
Brave. Brave and bold from you there.
I know. Keep your eyes on the live cameras.
Now, we've got another nest out there we can go to live now, which are blackbird. It's in a root bowl, a fallen tree, and it's built amongst the exposed roots there. Adults are not in attendance at the moment there, but we've been watching them throughout the course of the day, of course. Both parents in attendance here, male and the female coming in, and they've been feeding those young on a diet of all sorts of things, but plenty of worms have been brought in. Now, there were 4 young in the nest. You might have seen 4 heads there. I can tell you that subsequently, unfortunately, one of them has died. We don't know why. It's still in the bottom of the nest, but the other 3 are still going strong. Both parents have been servicing the nest, but the male a lot less than the female. He's been averaging 1.5 visits an hour, the female 2.25, an average of 1.87 between them. So that's considerably less visits than the 6.2 visits an hour that the Dartfords have been making. But look, they're bringing more prey. They're bigger birds, bigger beaks, and they're bringing in a greater volume of prey. And there you can see they're still finding some wet patches to find worms close to the surface to feed those young. So they're doing well at the moment. And of course, you can keep your eyes on all of these cameras 10 in the morning until 10 at night. They'll be on over the weekend if you want to see what's happening at the Dartford and the Blackbird's nest.
I'm going to do a little excited dance now.
Yeah?
Yeah, it goes a little bit like
It's not that excited.
No, it's not that exciting.
You should see me listening to The Clash.
Let's bring us back to the here and now and to an update on a nest that it is of a very common bird, one you may well have in your own gardens, the blackbird. Started off with 4 chicks last week. Now, one died in the nest, didn't get predated, and shortly after that, a second one died in the nest. Causes of death unknown. But then we saw this. This is the nest. It's in that fallen down trunk, and both parents were coming in, feeding worms and other invertebrates. But then we saw this, a berry being fed to those chicks. Now, this is pretty unusual. And then we thought, well, maybe there just wasn't enough food. Very difficult to get worms if it's hard ground, and it has been really dry. We've had 55% of the expected rain in this region, so perhaps that was the cause of death. So 4 went down to 2, and then this happened. So they continue to brood, that's the female, on the 2, but the 2 dead chicks are still in that nest. She then decides to do a little bit of spring cleaning and takes one of the chicks out. But there's still one dead chick in there, and that's not a good strategy to leave it there, because the smell of a dying chick can attract predators like weasels, stoats, and foxes.
Certainly can, and if we look at this nest, you can see it's very open, unprotected, not a lot of foliage hiding where that nest is. And so it wasn't surprising, as Michaela said, that you've got all the noise coming from the chicks. It's not well hidden, and you've then got the smell of a dead chick in there. Look what happened. A fox did actually turn up. So the adults are coming back to the nest. She hears something. Something's definitely going on. She hops down. She doesn't feed the young the worms that she so diligently collected. And she's looking out, and there, look, on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see the fox peering up at that nest. It can definitely see the blackbird, it can definitely smell the blackbird, and it's been listening to its young. She then decides not to feed them at all, but to brood them, to keep them quiet. She drops the worms. One of the worms falls over the side of the nest, down to the base of that tree, and the fox picks up the scent of the worm. And of course, it comes in and eats it. At this stage, the mother blackbird loses her nerve and she bolts out of the nest. Now there's no doubt at all that the fox knows exactly where it is. It knows it can't climb up and reach that nest from that spot, so it goes round to the other side, climbs up on the trunk, and then begins to dig through the root bowl towards the nest. And you can hear it there. I mean, this is a fox shining, isn't it? This is... Here's Johnny. The earth begins to tumble in to the nest. A hole appears. The fox has made it through. Here comes the snout. And of course, now it's filled up the nest with soil, but nevertheless, that snout is very efficient. It smells exactly where the chicks are and easily withdraws one of them. The adults are powerless to do anything about this, to be honest with you. They're not going to risk their own lives getting too close to the fox. The fox has another sniff, can't find the last remaining chick, which is now buried in that soil, and it leaves, having made a tasty snack out of one of those blackbird chicks. Now the blackbirds return, obviously, trying to salvage the situation, but unfortunately that chick is buried by the soil that was dislodged by the fox. So the female comes back in, and after a period of time concludes that there's no point in wasting those worms. She eats them herself. And this nest has come to an end.
Everyone was on the edge of their seats watching that. I mean, how is everyone feeling? There's a lot to process, isn't there? Emotions are all over the place. But what we do have to remember is this is the circle of life, and don't demonise the predator. I mean, we watch those blackbird chicks feed the worms, the blackbirds feed the worms to their chicks, and then we watch the fox feed the chicks to its cubs.